What's up, everybody? Soren Baker.
Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, we're getting into a little N.W.A. and the Posse. Very interesting project, LP, compilation, however you want to look at it, and we're going to talk about it. Alright, Amir, so today on The Great Debaters, we are picking our 3 favorite songs on N.W.A. and the Posse's album / compilation / whatever this thing is technically. It's a little hard to say because I got the album in '89, the Party Records version, and most of these songs are from the '87 era and came out before in different ways through, of course, the Macola Records powerhouse independent distributor label, etc. So it's a little hard to say this is really an album and the genesis of it in reality. But that being said, it is a CD, it is a cassette, and it is on vinyl. So whether you look at it as a compilation or an album, we're going to look at it as a release, a project. So, Amir, this has some different versions of some of N.W.A.'s biggest and best songs, as well as solo songs from some of the artists, and also the most extensive to this point information or music from the D.O.C. and the Feel It Fresh crew. So for you, Amir, when you heard this project as the 1989 Priority Records version, which is the one we're focusing on, what did you think of it?
Thought it was a little all over the place. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I went out of order on this one as well. First, I heard Straight Outta Compton, then I heard The 100 Miles of Run, and then I heard Brothers for Life. Lastly, I heard this.
Okay.
So as you can tell, if you hear like Straight Outta Compton, you hear the better versions of these songs.
Right.
So when I came back and listened to N.W.A. and the Posse, it's kind of like a downgrade in a sense.
Right.
So I guess I cheated a little bit. I was really young, man. It was like the 2000s when I was listening to this stuff. So yeah, I heard N.W.A. and the Posse after, and then when I heard N.W.A. and the Posse, I'd heard like The Boys in the Hood, the original. I've heard 8 Ball. I heard Dope Man. I heard A Bitch Is a Bitch. All of which were on Straight Outta Compton, but Bitch Is a Bitch was one of the the remastered bonus cuts. So I'd heard a lot of these songs already, but then when I was hearing them on this, it's like the quality was nowhere near as good.
Right.
So
and just to be sure, before you guys attack Amir, Bitch Is a Bitch was not on Straight Outta Compton. He's saying on the re-release.
The remaster.
And it was on singles and stuff, but this is the first album, actually, project that it was really on.
Exactly.
Just so you know.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but I want to make sure people know. All right. Yeah. Back to the regularly scheduled program.
Of course. To which that Straight Outta Compton release had 17 songs on, as opposed to the original 13. But so picking the songs from this it's one of the more interesting tasks, because I'm really focusing on the ones that were from this 87 or 89 release, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, to jump into one of them,
yes,
I'm going to pick Dope Man. And Dope Man to me is an exceptional song. It is so incredible. It's one where Ice Cube. First off, I like the intro for one. I always like, and you guys know I'm a sucker for something that really sets up a song. It doesn't just jump right into the lyrics. It just kind of gives some sort of background. I typically like something like that. It gives flavor to the LP. But I really like that. It's also interesting on this on this one, Eazy-E. He's talking about like gold chains, like he wants money, but the Mexican, as he says, is giving him like a gold chain. He's like, this is fake, like right. So he's like, you just give me the money, but like whatever. But I love Ice Cube's really giving the perspective of the dope man. He's also saying like, if you buy Kane, you a stupid motherfucker. So he's also giving his opinion on it, but he's also saying how he's capitalizing on it. And he also gives other key players to the game of drugs. He's also talking about strawberries and gives the definition of what a strawberry is. And then he just I really like how Ice Cube is really breaking down a lot of things in this song. And not to mention, he also brings in the dope man himself, Eazy-E, which really, I think, honestly, and this is another thing that just makes N.W.A. So great, is this song would have been amazing, just a solo song by Ice Cube. It would have been phenomenal, would have been outstanding, would have been all those amazing things. However, they bring in another perspective with Eazy-E and a different voice with Eazy-E and a whole different persona and just everything, and it makes it just from here to here. It just makes it that much better. So Dope Man was one of those songs that it's just so fantastic.
I agree with Amir. That's one of my favorite songs on the project as well. And to build on one of Amir's points with Cube saying, if you buy a cane, you a stupid motherfucker. The thing is, people always, in my opinion, looked at gangster rap as something that was blindly glorifying all the negativity and the gang banging and drugs and hustling and all this stuff. So Dope Man, anybody that listens to that song that actually pays attention to what he's saying, once you get past the profanity, this is the most anti-drug song you could have. And I talk about that a lot in my book, The History of Gangster Rap, because this is the type of song that made me understand and made me appreciate the fact that Ice Cube was a brilliant writer, that Eazy-E was super charismatic, but they were not glorifying drug use and drug dealing. In fact, they were doing the opposite. And they even had, with Eazy-E, the guy coming in at the end saying, like, if something happens to my sister, I'm gonna kill you. So it's basically like, this is not a happy life. This is not something that they're glorifying or glamorizing. In fact, they're showing you, like Schoolie D did, like Ice-T did before them, these pitfalls. Ice-T was 6 a.m. Oh, I just did a 7-year bid. Like, it's like, these are things that are showing you, like, yeah, it's kind of like Ice-T said, it's fun in the beginning and pain at the end. It's just, these are not celebratory songs of this lifestyle. They're indictments. Mm-hmm. And Dope Man, to me, every time I hear that song, whether it's this version or the juiced up version that is the more famous one, it's just amazing. And to Amir's point of hearing the better versions of these songs later, it also shows Dre and Yella's mastery of really being able to take these songs that were great as they were in these incarnations, but then for what they became known as, they're just so much more powerful, which I think is a testament to all the brilliance that, in particular, Dr. Dre as a producer and Ice Cube as a writer and Eazy as the vocalizer really did a great job with. So what's your second pick there?
Second pick, I'm going 8 Ball. Okay. I love this song, man. And I love the remix too. Eazy-E, bro. I know he's the person you wish you could have met most out of everyone of the deceased artists.
Far and away.
He is just such an entertainer. This track and the opening line, I'm not going to say it's a diss because it's not a diss, but the opening line where he's like, I don't drink Brass Monkey with Big Funky, nickname Eazy-E, Cole 8 Ball Junkie. I don't know, I know Brass Monkey was probably like one of the first times, probably like maybe the first time ever someone named a song like after an alcoholic beverage. 8 Ball, 87 whenever it dropped, also very, very early on. So I don't know at what point it became popular, because then later on we got the St. Ides commercials with all the rappers in it and whatever. But then even later in his career, you hear Ice Cube saying, don't drink 8 Ball because St. Ides is giving ends. It's interesting how like you see the history go on and these other beer brands come in and leave and whatever and who's endorsing them. But I thought it was also like pretty bold to name a song 8 Ball. And then also they had like the 8 Ball jackets and all these other things. Right. This song is just incredible. And one of my favorite lines in it too is Ice Cube writes the lines that I say. And then he mentions CIA after and then other stuff. But it's just a great song by Eazy-E, and I love what he's saying. And also, I actually, I don't want to mix up the 8-Ball and the 8-Ball remix. Oh, one thing that I really like about, okay, so this version of 8-Ball, I really found it interesting because I had heard the remix first.
Right.
This one is clean.
Right.
So I really like, and I'm happy I remember that. This one, I really like how they had to tweak the lyrics, because you'll hear yourself rapping it, like, because how I've heard it, it was like all cussing.
Right.
And then I'm hearing this and like, what the hell? He changed this word, he changed that word. So I always thought that was very interesting. And I really like when rappers and artists will change a dirty song to a clean song, but they don't take the lazy bleep approach. They'll rewrite and re-record all their lyrics. Right. That's something I really liked about this one too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Amir. I think that 8-Ball would be one of my other choices, so I'm leaning to believe that we have the same 3 picks on this. But the to your point, the original version of this, the fact that it is clean, it kind of harkens back to the era of, you know, rappers would make clean songs, and Eazy-E, Too Short, Ice-T, Schoolie D, these guys were the ones that had the profanity or a lot of it at the time. But the fact that somebody like a Eazy-E or like N.W.A would have a Panic Zone where there's nothing, you know, controversial or crazy about it, or LA is the Place, or these different records on this same project that has a Dope Man, for instance, it's just shocking that when you look at it. And with 8-Ball, like Amir was saying, I always thought it was cool. And I heard this so early on that when he said Ice Cube's writes the rhymes that I say, I just was like, oh, okay, so people write for each other. I didn't really think it was a big deal because of what Eazy-E said and because of how much I respected and revered Ice Cube, Eazy-E, and all the N.W.A members and the Posse, as we hear on this project. But it didn't ever really bother me, and it still doesn't really bother me till today when other people write, because that's art, in my opinion. Like, almost no one does anything by themselves. You know, everybody's getting input somewhere, or more than one person is helping with the beat or whatever, regardless of who gets credit. That being said, I just think the story and the way that Eazy-E blends it all together is really good on here, and I liked the differences that we hear with the remix. Just show again Dre in particular's brilliance as a producer and as a song enhancer. So that's our first 2. What's your third pick?
Third pick, A Bitch Is a Bitch, Ice Cube. I wonder if that's your...
That is my third pick.
Hey, is this the first time?
Before we get to my reasons, Amir, break it down. But
one, I don't know who was in this song. I'm assuming it's a white guy. I don't know who it was. The guy who's talking. It's just, I love how they did that on like quite a few songs in their career. Like with this one guy. Let's describe a certain female, etc. And then Ice Cube breaks down what, you know, a bitch is in his eyes. What a bitch is. It's not all women, but all women have a little bitch in them. It plagues her character, taking the women of America. And then, dude, just like unconventional, you know, not having a chorus, but instead having this girl who Ice Cube is, you know, portraying her as a bitch. He's saying, you know, you didn't even listen to the song. She's like, fuck the song, I know, bitch. And he's like, man, what the hell? Like, just these like comedic elements and aspects to it. And I'm sure this is something that, this is just my guess, just from how funny Eazy-E is. He probably said like, we need something like this in the song, or Dre said we need something like this in the song. And then Ice Cube, you know, they get a girl, and then they enact this thing in the chorus. To your point, this is just teamwork. Not one person does it. It's the posse, more or less, right? So I just thought that was fantastic. And Ice Cube breaking it down, and then he's saying, you know, a bitch can be your best friend, talk behind your back about who's fucking who and who's getting fat. And this isn't just something that is, you know, in Compton or wherever. This is worldwide. You know, these things happen. You know, so. It's just, I thought it was like a very like relatable song. It was a funny song. It defines, in his opinion and N.W.A.'s opinion, what a bitch is. And then you also get the white guy saying, I'm assuming white guy, there you have it, the definition of a bitch. Right. You know, it's just, it's too good. It's
well, so like we've talked about in some of our other Great Debaters episodes, in particular when we've talked about Eazy-E and Eazy-Duz-It, it just, when you have hardcore rap that has this humor element to it, to me it's just the best, man. Because you got like, I enjoy laughing. Even though people are always like, oh, Soren, you're so serious or whatever. Like, I love laughing, I love having fun, and I love doing all this stuff. But when you can hear it in music and it really has that hard edge and a storytelling element, again, Ice Cube's one of the best storytellers in rap. He doesn't get a lot of acknowledgement for that. And this is yet again another example of that, where he's breaking down certain things about women, as Amir detailed. But I just think that the comedic element, it's just the whole thing about it is just magical to me. And I think that I was glad, because I always tried to prioritize getting albums over singles back in the day for financial purposes. I was glad that A Bitch Is a Bitch was on this project, because other than buying a single, spending half the amount of money I could get to buy an album, I got all these other songs, and then I got to hear in particular the D.O.C. and Arabian Prince more than I would have otherwise had I not got this project, and that made me happy. So those are my favorite songs with the D.O.C. or Arabian Prince, but I just love music and I wanted to hear as much from them as I could. And then of course the D.O.C. went on to be phenomenal. And then for those that don't know, make sure you study up on Arabian Prince, because he's got a lot of great music too. Brother Arab and different things that he did both before N.W.A. with producing with JJ Fad, and then as a solo artist, Professor X, all the different stuff he does. So anyway, those are my 3 picks for the N.W.A. and the Posse album, and we're going off the 1989 Priority Records re-release / whatever version this is. So, but those are my picks. You got Amir's picks. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to both Unique Access and to Rappin and Snackin, and let us know what y'all think. N.W.A. and the Posse. I'm Soren Baker.
I'm Rahimi.
The Great Debaters, y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV Raps with N.W.A.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.